All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Welcome in this Friday morning, January 23rd, 7 a.m. sunny Colorado time. Hey, we got a lot of nasty weather coming across the country. A nasty, nasty snow and ice storm hitting so much of the country. Please be careful out there. I hope everybody is well. With all that, please be cautious. Today we are covering the Clarity Act. Welcome into Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Would you mind if you just expend a little bit of energy and tap that like and subscribe? Give it a little click. Give it a click down at the bottom. It sends it out to everybody, the video. All right, here's the deal. We are huge on XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, so on and so forth. The 8 ISOs, also Algo, IOTA, Quant, and ADA. Why? Because this is our new payment or financial system coming up here, dovetailing with existing legacy systems, which they've been doing for some time, using APIs, application programming interfaces to, excuse me, to connect with existing legacy systems and let's just say speed up the financial system, banking, derivatives, blah, 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 the markets, all markets in general. But today, let's quickly get to the cryptocurrency market cap, which is taking, oh, by the way, happy birthday to Hollywood today. In our community. Hollywood, happy birthday, brother. Here's the deal on crypto. Most people, I want to be as kind as I can. First of all, I've got to be very clear and tell you that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for informational, educational, entertainmental purposes only. Don't worry, I understand how the English language works full well. Believe you me. Here's the dilly willy. Crypto about to go to 7, 8, 10, 12 trill. Okay. Coming up faster than anybody can say, what in the hell just happened? Because here's the deal. If you grab crypto and go to, at least back just a little ways here, on the crypto chart, if you zoom out, excuse me, if you zoom out, you can see that if you drew a line here, an ascending trend line, we would be tapping it. But here's the deal. I now am throwing that out the window. I don't care about ascending trend lines anymore. People in markets, of course, particularly traditional markets, are going to say, see, this is why you don't follow a guy like Frank the Crypto Tank. See, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Charts always tell the tale, and they always do the same things over and over again until they don't, like Bitcoin. Please don't ask me why I tweaked my voice all high like that. That was funny. But like Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin being a store of speculation, not a store of value. Hold on, let's grab it real quick. Let's grab somebody else saying it besides simply me. Hold on one sec. Somebody that you may trust a little more than me. Talking about how, we want things that are not stores of value. In fact, let's see if we can find it. It'll have to be Fox Business. Let's see if we can find this. Mr. Chris Larson, let's see. Whoops. Yeah, Chris Larson. Whoops. He says no store of value. Let's see if we can find this thing real quick for you. Let's see. Without getting a copyright. Nope. I'm not going to be able to find it. Who cares? There's a video, there's an interview where Chris Larson is very clearly stating, look, we don't go for stores of value, okay? We go for utility. All right. Anyway, please do not forget. Right now, let's just cover this very quickly. Cryptocurrency market cap. Sorry, I'm having a little concern here. Not a concern, but a frog in my throat. $3.01 trillion for a cryptocurrency market cap. I'm going to come across, remember Alfalfa and Spanky from Little Rascals and Darla? I've got an alfalfa thing going on here right now. Frog in my throat. Hey, $89,248 Bitcoin. Ethereum coming in at $2,926. Let's add a little flavor, a little flair to this thing. Know what I mean? XRP, $1.90, down 7.55% on the 7-day, down 1.28% on the 24-hour. Solana coming in today at $126,098 for your Solana. Dogecoin, 12 cent. Cardano, 35 cent. Hilarious, because Cardano's going to 35 bucks very shortly here. Watch this crap. 35 cents, not a financial advisor. It's calculator exercise. Go ahead and take 10 grand, right? Go ahead and divide that by 38 cents. Yeah, you go ahead and get yourself 26,315 Cardano. Let's call it 26,000. You got yourself 26,000 Cardano. When that thing goes to, let's call it, it's 35 bucks, easy 35 bucks. It's going higher than that. But when it goes to 35 bucks, somebody grabbed themselves $910,000. That's almost a Milski for 10K. Who the hell's paying attention to crypto? Anybody out there? Not a financial advisor. Never buy or sell anything is what I say or do, because crypto's very risky and you can lose your socks, your shorts, your glasses, your pants, everything in crypto. Do not touchy unless you talk to that funny little character that wants to talk to you about your trading sideways forever 401k, making freaking 3%, whatever it is. Anyway, no offense to anybody or anybody's 401k. Come on. Anybody know on average how much is in the average person's 401k that they think like they're going to grab what they need to retire, which they think is $1 million or $2 million, which is wrong. It's like $3-4 million for anybody who's like being reasonable, and doesn't want to be house poor for in their older years. Yeah, you need about 3,000-4,000. Sorry, my voice is still tweaked. I got a little frog caught in my throat. But here's the deal. Maybe Studio can bring me a water. I don't know. Here's the deal. That's a That's a request, please, if you don't mind. That sounded very bossy. Here's the deal, because it was. Here's the deal. Alfalfa asks, what the heck's going to happen when everybody comes into crypto and crypto cranks up in Hedera Hashgraph, which is future crushers at 10 cents right now, and Hedera goes to freaking, wait, hang on, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, never go buy or sell anything is what I say or do, and because, and I really mean that. And because Hedera is at 10 cents right now, 0.108 cents Hedera. I'm going to go ahead and drop 10K on Hedera just for craps and giggles and say 108. And say, yeah, I just grabbed myself 92,592 Hedera. We'll call it 92,000 Hedera. Just grab 92,000. Interesting. Hedera's easily going to 50, 75, 100, 500 bucks. Let's just call it 75 bucks for techins and giggles. Hold on, kids. Thank you, Studio, for bro. You heard my call. Thank you, Studio. My cry. Yeah, that person just dropped 10K and grabbed 6.9 mil. That's 7 mil, and then they got to pay taxes on $10,000. No, I'm not a financial advisor. These are simply calculator exercises. Never buy or sell anything is what I say or do. And never buy H-bar for sure at 10 cents right now with 10K. Grab 92,000 shares of it and watch it go to 75 bucks in a couple few years and gank 6.9 mil before taxes. Never do that. Whatever you do, by the way, also, never play the video back in 3 to 5 years, because I am not a financial advisor and all this stuff is not financial advice. And those of you who think you're going to get rich on crypto, day trading, and playing leverage and things, please be very careful. Thank you. Never buy these three, because what I say or do on the channel, crypto is very risky. You can lose your socks, your shorts, your glasses. You could also play this video back in 3 to 5 years and see some of these things at frickin' 50, 75, 100 bucks and say, holy shit, if I just dropped 10 grand in, I literally would have had 20 mil on that one. Duh. Rangers, what up, dude? Josh, what's going on? Hollywood, happy birthday. See, you didn't think I remember Hollywood. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Not that you didn't think I remember, but happy birthday. Mrs. Loopy. Good morning and welcome to the Tanker family. And it is a little family we have going on here. I'm happy to call this a family. Is it my nuclear family? Didn't Bush struggle with that one? I do believe we have a nuclear explosion. Wait, now I'm confused. Is it nuclear or nuclear when we talk to either genetics or splitting the atom? What in the world is it? Somebody help me. Dumbest smart person you're ever going to meet on the internet here, Frank the Crypto Tank. Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you have a great day today. This is a crucial day. You decided to pop out into this third rock from the sun, this third dimension, and say, and you, like everybody else, cried like a little baby. And I mean no offense, because you literally cried like a little baby, like we all did, except for the few, and went, oh shit, this place again. I screwed up. I was trying to go to that other system. I went back to the yellow, fearful energy star system called the sun with third rock from the whole 369 thing. Oh shit. I overshot. I was trying to get to that other system. Oh crap. Yeah, almost everybody who came here. Don't worry, it'll be over soon. Anyway, happy birthday, buddy. How's that for a happy birthday? Yeah, Tank don't play no games. I keep it real. Everybody's like, stop talking about dying all the time. Ah, come on. You're born, you die. Come on, it's a cycle. Enjoy the time in between. Have fun and have a laugh and keep a sense of humor. You can't die. You can't be killed. You're on to a next ride after this birthday. Or, well, come on. What are you? You mean you're going after today? Where are you going, Hollywood? No, I'm not going to put words into your mouth. You're going to be with us a good long time, buddy. Happy birthday. There's my happy birthday present to you. Good morning. Is anybody paying attention to crypto? Does everybody have their head up their freaking ass? Hold on. I feel like I can say some swears and gain some potency on the channel. Hold on here. Oh, boy. I figure if I can get a little laugh out of myself, hopefully I get a laugh out of somebody. And if I don't, it's business as usual. The wife tells me you're not funny. You think you are. You're not. Nobody else really thinks you're funny. You do. XDC coming in at 4 cents. What in the world's going on with this play? Hold on. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Keep playing around with your 401k if you don't mind. Hold on. XDC's at 4 cents. Hold on now, kids. XDC's at 4 cents. This time I heard a lot of people talking about XDC. You said it was digitizing trade finance. I read the white paper on it. It sounds like a winner. I don't know, Tank. I think I might go for this one. Let me see. Let me check it. Now, let me pull it up. Now, I could go ahead and take a look at its total supply, its circulating supply, max supply. Where are you? White paper I'll take a look at. I'll go on to a bunch of YouTube channels and things. I'll go to chat. I'll go to the internet. I'll go to some abstract papers and things, some crypto papers, blockchain papers. I'll go to XDC and I look at it and I'm like, geez. XDC is digitizing trade finance. It's putting all of the United States patents on blockchain. Interesting. Playing ball with some of the largest players on the planet. Also in with R3 Corda and going to be settling things on the XRP ledger, performing settlements on the ledger. Going to have some pairs. I don't know how many pairs XDC will have. It won't be like some others, but you know, it'll have some pairs. I don't know. I don't know the details on that. I don't know enough about it quite plainly, but I know it'll have some, and it's going to have some activity. I know that. I know that much. I've seen all the evidence on it and all the papers and panel discussions. Not all, but quite a few. Okay, so I'm saying my point. XDC, that sucker, and I've seen tokenomics, and it's going to take a little while, but that sucker's going at 50, 75 bucks, 100, 500 bucks. She could go a lot higher. XDC. So for a calculator exercise, I said, you know what the F? It's at 4 cents. F it. I'm just going to do it. I've heard great things. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's not financial advice. It's a calculator exercise. I decided to drop 25K on a 4 cent XDC. Now, hang on. Okay. So, yeah, I pulled that play. And I got 606,796 XDC on that play. I had to pay the exchange fee, whatever. So 606,000. Okay. So with that 606,000 XDC, oh, let's call her 85 bucks for shits and giggles. Yeah. How much did I just grab before taxes? $51.5 million for dropping 20K or 25K, whatever the hell it was. Who cares? It's a moot point. 606,000 times $85 coming up, XDC, and she's going a lot higher than that. But there's 51 mil. No, nobody's interested, huh? Nobody wants to play any ball with crypto and long-term hold some of these projects. Nobody's interested in doing any of that, huh? Some of the folks that I know that have never financial advice, I'm asking a question. I've got folks around me that I know that literally are worth millions. Nobody wants to play ball, and none of you multimillionaires want to play ball literally with freaking 50K of a freaking XDC and grab yourself. Wait, hang on. I have friends who do not want to play with crypto, and I get it. And that's how they've gotten wealthy, is they've been so risk averse. I get it. I mean, I'm just learning all this stuff. I can't pretend that I'm like them. I'm a little nobody. I'm a little I'm child's play. Who am I trying to talk to? These are suggestions I'm making. And to play the video back in 3 years that I suggested some of my wealthier friends to drop 50K on an XDC, never financial advice, and because I'm not a financial advisor, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is an exercise. I'm an actor up here. Okay, here you go. That individual, whoever that friend of mine is, would have grabbed 1.2 million XDC, and that 50K to them is literally, to you and me, like frickin' $500, not even. I'm not kidding. Multimillionaires that I know. They literally could be in on 1.2 mil XDC. And if they happen to do that, let's say they did, they paid their exchange fees, and they're coming out with 1.2 mil XDC. XDC hits its, let's say, even just $75. Well, some of those friends of mine, instead of being multi-millionaires, are now holding, wait, is that right? Well, I don't know. They're still millionaires, but they got 90 mil. Okay? So they got yourself 90 mil. Now look, let me try that exercise one more time and I'll get the comments, because I do have friends that honestly, for them to drop 200K on it would not be a big deal. And I'm going to do it right now. Watch. If they drop 200K, because XDC is not going away, obviously. So if they drop 200K, and we'll go to its kind of real price, about $225, coming up in a few years or so, 3 to 5 years. Make sure you play this video back, coming up. Hang on. I've got to, hold on. We've got to first, hold on, we've got to buy it first. Let's go ahead and buy it at 0.0412 cent over here. And go ahead and capture 4.85 mil. We'll call it 4.8 mil XDC. Whoops. 4.8 mil-ish of XDC-ish. Ish or so. Times about $225. So now that individual has grabbed a bill. Now that individual is a billionaire in XDC. They're a multi-millionaire. They took 200K of their funds, put it on an XDC at 4 cents. XDC goes to $225 per unit. You know, they grabbed 4.8 mil. For dropping 200K on a 4 cent XDC, goes to $225. They got a bill before they pay taxes. Hopefully, they put it into a living trust, a charitable trust, and just passing it on to members of the trust and not getting taxed on it. Hopefully, and by the way, moves like that are why people say the rich don't pay taxes. I mean, they're able to take advantage of certain things that, you're about to be one of them. So quit crying about it. Let me get back to comments here, okay? All right. Anybody having fun yet? Let's get to the comments. Freezing my butt off all day at work. Well, Hollywood, it's your birthday, and what you doing at work? Now, look at, here's my guess. Coming up in another 3 years, I don't know, it could be this year, when 5 to 7 to 9 to freaking 12, 15 trill, I'm not kidding, these are the numbers we're looking at coming to crypto, and if anybody can hold out long enough, never financial advice, on cold storage, blah, 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 and cash all their shit out at going up the mountain and somewhere around the height and coming down the mountain of the next super cycle bull run, then you ain't going to be at work no more now, child, on your birthday. Instead, you're going to be home, or doing whatever you want to do. I don't know what you're going to be doing, but you ain't going to have to be at work, brother. Look at crypto explosion coming up soon, not a financial advisor. Rero, welcome in. Lodge, welcome in. Mrs. Loopy. Josh, welcome in. Hollywood Rangers. We got Art Caffeine. Welcome in, my brother. Markster, welcome in. Who else? I don't know who else. But Hollywood, I hope you have a great day today. See, this is one of the other benefits of the birthday recognition in the community because now we got everybody chiming in. Happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I mean, hey, here's how I look at this. If we're going to come to this place, which is awesome in many ways, please don't get me wrong. This place is fantastic. Well, we're going to come to this place and deal with, the trials and tribulations on this third rock from the sun. We better get I hope we get a happy birthday from some loving kin of ours that are around us being like, hey, happy birthday, Hollywood. Happy birthday, bro. You know what I mean? That's what everybody wishes. When it's Art's birthday, same thing. Marnster, everybody. Make sure you give me your birthdays. I'll pay attention. Don't give me the year. I don't care how young you are. It's going to make me feel bad. I joke. I'm excited to get out of here in a few ways, on to the next ride. Wifey, don't listen to that. Don't worry. You're coming with me. We're together for eternity. Don't worry. All right. Let's carry on. I hope we're having fun. Josh, Tank, what is the minimum amount of XDC, XRP, and XLM that we should be holding if we ain't no big baller like your friends? Ha ha ha. Okay, so then here's what I would suggest, and I'm never a financial advisor. I can give you an opinion on this. I can never give you financial advice. Why? Because I'm not a financial advisor. This is a financial advice for informational education purposes only, and sometimes some entertainment. And by the way, crypto is very risky. You lose your socks, your shorts, your pants. You got to consult your registered investment advisor before you make any moves in crypto. So now that I said all that, I can, of course, give my opinion because it's not financial advice. Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on how to play crypto. Okay. First of all, for our hypothetical, before I even start, I'm going to do this very neatly and cleanly, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be clear and easy to understand. How much money, for this example, and it may not be you, or may not be you, and I don't care. For our example, how much, Josh, how much dough, how much dry powder, how much are we allocating to said projects for this funny little entertainment-only example, never financial advice? How much are we allocating to our little example here? I'm going to drop $500. You can drop a couple $100. I'm serious. It doesn't matter how much. And I'm shouting low numbers purposely to let you know that my mind isn't at these high, 10,000, whatever numbers. It doesn't need to be that. And that's not how anybody gets going with this stuff either, by the way. Especially if you have an addictive personality and you start purchasing some of these and you're like, I gotta get more. And it starts becoming a crazy addiction. But anyway, what are we dealing with? Let's say someone has 5 to 10K to allocate, in theory. In theory, of course. Okay. Now, so if somebody has 5 to 10K to allocate, and we pull up our funny little chart. Actually, I'm going to do it so you can see, because otherwise, now here's the deal. I can't see my comments. So, all right, Rangers is at work listening. Sweet. All right. So check this out. And nobody needs to see. All right. Okay. Actually, okay. All right. We'll take 1K, 1,000. Revision from Josh, 1K. Okay, cool. Now here, it's important that for Josh, for you, that you can see the screen. Rangers says he's listening just at work or whatever. And folks who are not looking at the screen but just listening, right on. You don't need to see what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. And now here, I was going to compare against Bitcoin, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just go with the ones that you mentioned, you asked about, which are XRP, XLM, and XDC, our 3 X's, let's call them, which you see way back we did a video on these 3. These are the 3 prize possessions. One has already made a jump and could not be suppressed, although they tried their asses off to suppress it, and they just couldn't with the Trump pump. Sorry, we made it run. Okay, and that was a lame-o dumb money retail run. Okay, that was not institutional money pushing that puppy up. Wait till institutional money pushes that up. That'll move the decimal place over to the right one, and then a couple, as I think Rangers or somebody said in the comments yesterday. That's getting ready to happen shortly here. But one already jumped is my point. Okay, crap. Okay, right? Because some folks got it. Oh boy, somebody in our comments yesterday said they got it at like 5 cents or something wacky. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of them now. You got Stellar at 21 cents, right? And you've got XDC. Hold on. What did we say? 4 cents. So XDC's at 4 cents, and Stellar is at, what did we say, 20 cents? So $1.90, let's do this with the calculator. Let's just grab the average and say, let's first say we're going to split them. So let's just go $1.90 plus, what did I say, 20 cents for a stellar. Whoops, not 20, not just yet. Coming though, not just yet. 20 cents for a stellar plus 4 cents for an XTC. Okay, so that divided by 3 gives us an average of 71 cents per. So we've got 71 cents per. And we go ahead and say, all right, well, let's take that 1,000 and divide it by our 71 cents we have to spend on the 3. Let's say we equally split between the 3. We were able to get a total of 1408 for a total shares. Of course, divided by 3 says that we split the lot on 469 apiece. So you ganked yourself 469. You got to pay the exchange fee, so call it 460. So you call it, ish. So call it, excuse me, 460, excuse me, XRP, XLM, XDC. 460 of each. Well, I mean, just on some basics, I can say whatever I want. I'm going to guess, this is simply, I'm not a financial advisor. This is a calculator exercise. I can say that easily 469 coins, XRP tokens, XRP units will be shares. I want to say shares, units. Let's call them XRP units are going to be, I don't know. Call it somewhere around a couple $100 or so in a few years. It could be a lot higher, but let's just stay grounded and say 93K before you got to pay, before you got to pay the man, right? Your taxes. And we jump over to 469 units, of course, of XLM, which is the baby brother, baby sister of XRP. I am going to call that one, let's call it $189 for craps and giggles. You got yourself 88K. You got to pay taxes, don't forget, but you got yourself about 88K. All right. Now, that's just in a few years. I'm just throwing numbers out. I don't know where these things are going to be, but at 469 units of the XDC times, I don't know, call it a couple $100. We're looking at another 93K. So, you got to ask if, let's see, 9 to 20, so about 270K. You've got to ask, and you got to pay taxes, right? So on 270K, you're going to be paying your taxes. Let's see what the law says about cryptos and American cryptos, if you're going to have to pay it. You probably are. Let's go ahead and, let's put it at 31%. I don't know what state you reside in. So 270K, 83K. So minus 83K. You're looking at being able to hang on to, for putting in $1,000, split between the 3. You were looking at being able to hang on to about 187K, splitting between the 3 of those, in my opinion, ish. Could they be a lot higher? They certainly can. So is $1,000 going to do a lot for you as far as life change? Well, that's life changing for a lot of people. Some people might say, I'm paying off my mortgage with that. What are you talking about? That's huge for me, Tanker. Okay, well, whatever it is for you. Let me get back to the comments. Studio's trying to tell me a whole bunch of stuff or ask me questions. Yes, I would be... Here, hang on. Let me read Studio's questions. Here you go, Studio. Thank you. Be interesting to know. Yeah, I would really like to know. No, that's interesting. I would be interested to know what you guys do without giving up your hand. Of course, what do you guys do in the community? What do you do for work? Are you, because over 50% of crypto folk are contractors, are construction folk, contractors of some sort, like yours truly. Anyway, I'm curious to know. But anyway, is that life-changing wealth for anybody? To capture 187K or so after you pay your taxes on it to federal and state and pay your exchange fees? I don't know. That's up to each individual to answer that question. I do not know. Let me get back to some comments real quick. Maybe somebody says, well, that gives me a good gauge because I kind of want about 5 times that much. Well, then put 5 times that much in and not financial advice. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's get back to these comments here. Rangers says, if there was ever a day in which I could say, never heard the words crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, etc., today would be that day. People are holding their breath about metals, yet crypto can't stop itself. I know. And see, guys, after what just yeah, I hear you, Rangers. After what just happened with this, wait, Rangers saying something from taking him to be right. It's thunder, exactly. Marnster says, before I inject my nonsense, let me go ahead and read what the community is saying. Tanker, we really cares about what you're saying all the time, Tank. Just so you know, sometimes we want to hear what the community says, not just you all the time, right? So zip it, Tanker. Anyway, Marnster says, if you don't have a lot to dump in, dollar cost average, which means put it on the steady, even if the price is up or down, and someone is just purchasing every Friday with their paycheck or whatever. Okay, that's dollar cost averaging. Divert some of your money, i.e. coffee, cigs, alcohol, dinners out, all these things we do for our little pleasures, and they're not guilty. There's no guilt involved in it. How about cut the... Oh, careful now. I was going to say something. Religious conditioning garbage, right? Come on. Everybody's enjoying it. Oh, you should feel guilty. I just saw you sip some wine, pastor, or whatever. Come on. Cut the nonsense. Guilty pleasures, my ass. All right. So your well-deserved pleasures, the cigs, the coffees, whatever you want to do. I'm not into doing a lot of these things like this because I don't like to damage the holy temple. That's me. That's me. All right. But anything you're doing, dinners and things is not damn. Come on, anything we're spending frivolous money on, Marnie is suggesting perhaps you go without it for a little bit and put a little money into crypto. Nice point, Marnster. Marnster? Nice point, Marnster. Because here's the deal. I found myself as I got addicted to crypto purchasing back in the day. And I'm done. My bags are loaded. But I was saying, no, wait a minute. Just cut the crap, Tanker. You don't need another hammer or whatever for your company. What are you doing? You have 2 or 3. What are you doing? That $15 can literally, it was 50 cents. So I'm like, that gets you like 30 XRP, dog. What you talking? You don't need another whatever. And that's what I was doing with myself constantly. Look at you. I literally stopped. I was literally smoking cigarettes at that time here and there. Like, I think, if I remember, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't. But I did go through my time where I stopped. Oh, American spirits. I'm being healthy. Okay. All right, Frank. But anyway, I was spending my money on cigarettes and also too much on alcohol. Not a big problem or anything. But it's down to like a glass of wine a week now for me. And if it's special, I'll go get drunk with a friend or something, but at least I could do that. You know what I mean? So I feel great, and I keep working out in the mornings. I'm up at 3:30 in the morning almost every day, sometimes 4. Get the show ready. It's just what I do. That's how I am, okay? But anybody who is, back to the point though, anybody who's doing this early and dropping this money in, oh my gosh, please think about dropping dollars on dinner, whatever, going through and just getting some nasty ass freaking taco. But come on, Taco Bell's freaking disgusting. Yeah, it might taste good, but just think about what that actually is. Anyway, that money not spent on that, instead spend it on XRP, crypto, or XTC. XTC's at 4 cents right now. Wait, hang on. I'll get to your comments in a second. Hold on now. XTC's at freaking 4 cents, not financial advice. Now look it. Please don't tell me. Guys, I am back on some coffee just a little bit these days for the past months. However, I stopped coffee for I think it was 2 years. I wasn't doing it at all. Boy, and it was hellish for the wife in particular. But you can stop and do any of these things. You put your mind to it and say, I'm doing it. That's it. I can do it. You start to fall back. You see yourself get ready to go. Are you going to go try some? No, I'm not grabbing coffee. I made a commitment. I'm doing this. So quit the coffee or whatever. For, let's say a year. Don't tell me people aren't spending $5 a day-ish or so on a freaking coffee. So check it, yo. 7 times 5. So every week, whoops. What's 35 times 4 real quick? My apologies for not being great with math. $140. And $140 times that year is, of course, $1,680. Now, we've been suppressed in price for years. Look at how many times you stop coffee. You could put like 2, 3, 4,000 into crypto. Don't bullshit yourself, and you're never going to bullshit me. It's going to be real tough, especially with this thing cranking. But don't try to kid yourself, and don't kid me, right? Get correct, come correct, and do a come to Jesus with your own self, and be like, now wait a minute. If I'm being honest, I love my car. It's awesome. Oh, it's awesome. All right, drive it all over. I love my car. Okay. My wife jokes. She's like, "Stop it! You don't need to go there. You just want to drive your car. Cut it out." I'm like, if I'm honest, she's right. I'm being wasteful driving the car. Look at all the gas. I mean, I know it's good on gas, but it's spending money on the gas, the wear and tear. Oil changes, they're longer, but they're expensive on this vehicle. So it's like, tanker, what are you doing? You could spend that money instead on crypto. To free yourself financially in a monstrous way over the next 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years, and anybody else who's around you, if they're interested, because you'll have enough of it that you'll be able to help if somebody's interested. I'm not talking about throwing money at people. I'm not talking about that. Anyway, let's get back to Mark's just talking about silver again. I mean gold. No, I'm kidding. I know that AG is silver now. Don't worry. I know. Don't laugh at me. All right, hang on. Let me get back to comments. I'm taking too long, too much yappa. I hope that helps everybody, because I'll do an exercise right now on what frickin' $1,680 is on, here, hang on. Look at 60. No, hang on. Let me get the comments. I don't know what to jump to first. I got to get the comments. I got to finish my exercise. Hold on. Let me get over to the comments. I got to clear my throat, too. Jace. All right, Josh says, actually 1K. We've ran through that. I hope you're understanding, and I hope that helps. Ranger says, silver, just kidding, I know that's gold, at 5K, should be world news alone. I hope I'm entertaining you. Should be world news alone, but gold, just kidding, silver at $100, what the heck, also world news. At the same time, what are the odds? Exactly. And what are the odds that we've been calling this for a year and a half? Look at Smoke in the XRP community. Look at, Sir Francis Hunt on with Crypto Sniper channel that I've asked you to check out a million times. Check out any of these folk, excuse me, and you will see that they were over the target, of course, with this quite some time ago. Excuse me, Andy Scheckman and the like. Jim Rickards. Okay, I know. I saw him in an interview and I played it, and he's like, hey, I wouldn't recommend blockchain technology to anybody. Okay, Jim. All right, Jim. All right, buddy. You're a wacky genius, but you're telling people blockchain ain't going to be nothing, and I don't know if I'd recommend it. Okay. So, man, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn, Rickards. Anyway, and I respect your financial knowledge, but what a bunch of horse crap. You said it in an interview, and you're not taking it back. So, anyway, I call out crap when I see it. Lupe retired. Bless your soul, my dear. I'm coming along soon for the retirement ride. I'll be there shortly. Thank you. Semi-retired for now, but come on. Not really. Come on. I got to keep going. We got to keep going, and we enjoy it. Crane operator, Lodge. Look at, I'm going to forget this. I need to log. Yeah, thank you. I need to log your doings in the world. Oh, yeah, I got to mention the dude who called out Lewis, yo. Well, I will. Thanks, Studio, for reminding me. So I've directed you over to the Macro, Lewis's channel, and whether you watch him or not is your business, and I'm not saying anything negative about the guy. But there's somebody who calls him out, and I watched his video, and I'm like, ooh, I kind of thought that would have been what the dude was doing. And I think the dude might be right, and I'm not sure. I have no clue. So nobody's going to get me on anything or try to get me on, oh, he tried to say something bad about me. I have no clue, and I don't care what you do. Lewis, I don't care what the heck you do, guy. I do care if you mislead people, though. And anybody who misleads people, including me, I don't like that. So I wouldn't want me to continue if that's what was happening. Now, I don't know if you are or you aren't. I will state that there's a dude His name is, I'll get to it in a little bit, but let me finish this first. Thanks, Studio, for reminding me. I still have to finish comments. Hang on one sec, guys. And we're going to get to the discussion on gold and silver. Hold on. As we all know, AG is gold and AU is silver. So you get your, your designations proper. I'm kidding. I know it's not that. All right, look at duct insulation for S. Belby is your name. Okay, awesome. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Thank you very much for letting me know. Let me know what else you guys are. Mrs. Loopy is retired. Crane operator for large. Oh, how cool. I have a buddy who's a crane operator. Marnie, real estate. Good on you. I know that because you had said your name was Marn. Marnsteer. Very good. Lodge. I'm saying S Lodge. It could be Steve. It could be anything. I'm going to call you Lodge. I don't know. Bartender for here in New York City. Gotcha. Bartender. I was in the restaurant industry. I managed for TGI Fridays restaurants for many years. Actually, yeah. I come from the tri-state area, bro. So what up, bartender? What up, dude? Like and subscribe if you don't mind to the channel. Welcome in. Good suggestion from the studio to find out, because I've wondered, and studio's like, why don't you just ask? I'm like, oh yeah, I will. And thank you for letting me know. Duct insulator, cool. Yeah, over 50% of folk in crypto are contractors. As you know, I have a contracting company, and I started about 7 years ago or so learning all this stuff. So I am contractor turned financial dude. So yes, I am a scrubby little contractor guy. We're awesome, man. Come on. Don't mess with no contractors. That was so wimpy. Kind of hard to sound tough when you got a squeaky little frog in your throat all morning and your voice is all squeaked out like someone's grabbing your freaking gonads. Marnster says, was having a convo with my hubs this morning. Silver hold versus crypto. Good question. Metallicus. I think Metallicus is going to be something, David, just so you know. I just don't know a lot about it, and that's why I just shouted it out real quick, because I can say it that fast. I don't know. I don't do Metallicus. It's supposed to be something. I don't know. Honestly, and I'm not saying it's nothing wrong. It's probably going to be awesome. Not a financial advisor. Oh, interesting about holding crypto versus, that's a good call. That's a good question right now, because folks are wondering, and they're like, oh my gosh, silver is cranking, gold is cranking. What do I do? I've got gold. I've got silver. Do I take gold and some gold and silver as it's cranking right now and crypto is not, and take some of it and then go purchase a butt ton more crypto right now while crypto's down? I'm not a financial advisor. It's never financial advice. You guys do whatever in the world you want. I would tell you that, metals are a different vehicle, of course, than crypto. It's a different type of asset. Just like real estate, it's a different type of hold, a different type of asset. Just like playing the S&P is a different type of hold, playing the index. You do what you wish with your money. I am not a financial advisor. I'm saying that silver and gold are metals that are meant to be kept kind of forever for yourself. As the long-term hold. They ever watch the Vikings, how they take their hoard and bury it, their gold and silver in these spots? I swear some of this stuff is still existing onto the ground. I'm going to get a huge metal detector. I swear they didn't find it all. But anyway, this is what they always do. They just lost their hoard after a while, they hid it so well, they hid it from themselves. Where did you hide that? Hey, Sven, where did you hide it? I don't know. I lost it. The whole hoard. You lost all the whole treasure. So that's the thing. It's meant to be held. So do you hold it forever? I'm crazy like a fox. Here's what I do. All right. At the point of a hedge is to have a hedge. Here's what I do. I'd be like, look it. Now, I don't do these things for nothing. The reason why I hedge is for a reason. I'm watching crypto be suppressed and trade sideways like a son of a gun and be down. It's actually up from where I bought, but anyway, I'm watching it trade sideways and it's in the red for so long, and I'm sitting here going, well, geez, I'm holding quite a bit of silver and quite a bit of gold, and that stuff's cranking. Why don't I sell some of my silver? right now, purchase a whole but never financial advice for I'm an entertainer. I'm doing a show right now. Oh, and then I sold some of my silver because it was cranking over 100. Pretty soon going to be at 150, 100, 200 bucks. Sold some of my silver, but the thing is, crypto might be not be down for that long. But that happens. But we're going to see an inverse very shortly. But anyway, and all of a sudden I said, oh geez, man, I bought silver at freaking 15 bucks and now it's at 120. And I spent like 20, 30 grand on it. Maybe I take half of it, half of my silver, and I cash out on it and gank whatever it is, 60 grand, whatever I gank off that play, and still leaving 60 grand of my gains in silver. And then I said, oh my gosh, would you look at the crypto I can buy now while it's all down? Am I saying do that? No. I mean, no, I'm not saying do that. I'm not a financial advisor. That was a little exercise. And then after it all cranks up and silver doesn't go back down, of course, as we all know, right? So it goes to 200, 300 and stays there by the time I'm ready now to jump back into the long-term, hold of the silver, the PM, the pre-monster cycle. Sorry, yesterday I'm like PM. The precious metals. And thanks for teaching me, Rangers. But the precious metals. And I say, you know what? That's the long-term holds, the precious metal. But now it's so expensive, though. The hell do I care? I buy it at that price. That's what you do with long term. You don't care what the price is. You buy it then with what you can afford, and you sock it away as the long-term hold with the hoard of silver or gold that you're burying in a backyard. And you also got your real estate portfolio too. You also got your liquid stuff. You got your money in your indexes, making your steady ready. You got your money in some other stuff too. Some other safe stuff. Maybe you want to have some money in some companies, some smaller companies that you've always wanted to invest in, and you see are crushers in a city or in a community that just went public, and you're like, dude, I actually know, it's not insider trading. I actually know somebody who knows that guy. He's ready to expand like a son of a bitch. He just got like, he's privy to, he's sniffing up like so many government contracts and stuff. If they just went public, I'm going to buy that right now. Boom. Put your money in little VC kind of stuff, almost. Not really, it's not VC, but that kind of stuff. You got enough money, you can do you can pull some, God, why does this word escape me? You know what I'm going for right now. You can pull the pre-IPOs, you know what I mean? You know the word I'm looking for, accredited investor. You can satisfy that criteria now because you got enough dough to be an accredited investor. You get in these pre-IPOs and start crushing it with some of your money in that. See, so you can go diversify once you go do these things, and then it's a matter of, do you really give two shits that you sold your freaking 60K of silver as you're sitting with your millions of dollars all spread in these assets? Are you freaking kidding me? Wake up. That's the old you thinking. The new you doesn't think like that. You have millions of dollars now. You have high net worth attorneys, accountants, because it's a different ball game, because you're going to get wrecked if you don't use them, and you're using them as your advisors now. You do what you want. That is not financial advice. Boy, that sounded a lot like financial advice right there, and it wasn't. That was my opinion. I'm an entertainer. Anyway, let's get back to these comments. Markster says, silver, not even close. No competition whatsoever. Rero says, all they can, because we're comparing gold and silver, all they can do is brrr. So the money printer is what you're saying, Rero. So the valuation of the fiat currency leads to an increase in the prices of everything else, and it will continue. You are correct, and it will continue. I'm spending much on chocolate, 90%. You are right, it will continue, Rero. You are correct. Rangers says apparently and thank you for your comments, by the way, and thank you everybody for commenting. I'm sorry I get the hiccups on the live at the worst time. Apparently, from what I heard this morning, we lost over 10% purchasing power last year alone. I think it's more. That's my opinion, because they're giving you, I think I'm missing comments. They're giving you FOMC, the Free Open Market Committee, when they get up there and Powell gives you his numbers and so forth. They are giving you core CPI and super core CPI. Hold on, studio's trying to show me something. We got data. We got my Jamie trying to show you something. Prices have dropped after several. Just take those off and talk to me. Just talk to me. Take those off and just talk to me. What are you saying? After several years of global cocoa.
Cocoa and chocolate.
Oh, cocoa and chocolate. Gotcha. Thank you, studio. Thank you. Oh, because Riro's talking about chocolate and cocoa. All right, let's get down to these comments then. It's more than that. They're using core and supercore numbers. It's more like freaking 50 and 18%. They're full of crap. Anyway, Josh says I purchased the asset. Josh says I can't hold XRP in hand, but I own the tokens. Correct. That's correct. If you're asking, let me get back to further back in comments. Hold on one sec. And I think 3 appreciate. Oh my gosh, I'm so far back in comments. Hold on one sec. You guys are having a ball without me in the comments. Jasmine, boom. Good job, FFS. Thank you. I'm earning a few percentage points, lending out my assets. Guys, good for you lending out the assets. Anybody who wants to do that. I hear a lot of people who do that. I have buddies who do it. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto, but God bless, do what you want. I'm not a financial advisor. It's always nice to make money on money instead of it simply sitting. That's for sure. Digital assets, it's not money. Okay, so hang on. You guys have a little thing going on here. Josh says, I hold nothing for holding my digital assets, so I enjoy lending it out to others for their bills on loan protocol at 3%. Okay, Josh, inflation eats 3% as a snack, and that's correct, and it's okay, so at least stay out this. Yes, but the loan protocol on Metallicus gives me 3%. In XRPX, okay, gotcha. And then Josh also says, and I think those three will appreciate more than 3% per year. I think they will too, very likely. If they don't, they'll make a huge jump one year. And the thing is, Rangers is reminding you, Josh, that it's not money. It's digital assets, not money, says Josh. What's your point? And Ranger says, Josh, money makes the world go around, always has. No, crypto makes the world go round, says Josh. And Ranger says, Josh, that's insane. Josh says, hey, I love you, buddy. Don't worry. And they're disagreeing, and it's okay. And Rero says, only what you hold in your hand is truly yours. Rero says, right now, can't hold Bitcoin in hand. Hey, Rero, let me, and everybody, let me kindly inject my opinion here. And because Rero said, only what you hold in your hand is truly yours. And I think what you might be alluding to is because that's what folks we all deem perception-wise to be of value, whatever that thing is. So whatever it is, even though I can't hold a real estate property in my hand, that is something I can hold in my hand that's real and tangible, and we say that's valuable. See? So it's perception of what we say is valuable, and what we usually say is valuable are things we can hold in our hand. Well, guess what? As we ain't holding nothing in our hand with crypto per se, except for units that we've purchased and then hope to sell at a higher price later, as long as they're custodied and secured and the asset class doesn't go away, well, then we are holding a claim, a future stake or claim on higher money than we're holding in that digital asset now. If we want to go ahead and put it into stablecoin, if we want to go ahead and put it into fiat in a bank, if we want to then take that and go ahead and purchase metals and bury it in the freaking backyard of the safe, we're very versatile and we can do what we want. Is anybody paying attention? You do whatever you want with the money. It doesn't matter what you call it. We're glad we have different lanes of money, that we have fiat, that's shitty stuff, that's crap, that inflates like a son of a gun, but it's very versatile, and you can go to the Oregon Trail and just be like, hey, I got $100 bill, any takers? And be like, yeah, I'll take it. You know what I mean? All right. Or gold or silver like that. Right. Or a watch, a Rolex watch. Okay. Then you got your other stuff that are long-term instruments like index or like real estate or like gold, silver, whatever, even though that works the same way. Where if you flash some silver or gold and be like, any takers? And be like, oh, yeah, I'll trade for that. I want some of that. All right. So let's get real. It's all perception. it's the perception of what we deem to be valuable. And we usually deem things to be valuable that are things that are kind of tangible, we can hold in our hands and we can use and blah, blah, blah. Well, digital assets, although they're quite nebulous still, they're rather nebulous in their nature. They are, because they're basically software, they are also software, though, that can be held as a unit like a stock that's protected and secured in a cold storage wallet and then sold for more money later. So what do you call that? Oh, no, you don't want any part of that? Interesting. Okay, good. See you later. You know what I mean? Who cares what you use? Just use the right thing at the right time. They have different uses. These are different vehicles and have different lanes and different uses for different times and different places. And so you understand what's happening. Is it? Yeah, it's Josh with what Rangers is trying to explain to him. And I think he probably did. And I can go further down the comments. Let me get down to the comments and then I'll explain that, because I think it'll help you. Josh, and I appreciate you being in the comments too, by the way, and thanks for not getting crappy with anybody. And you guys are cool to agree to disagree and not be jerky with each other. Can't hold XRP in hand, but I own the token, says, okay. I purchased the assets, says Josh. Okay. Captain Wrench says, buy as much as you can. This is cheap crypto. In stocks right now, invest every week. I agree 100% if you have not loaded your bags. And what's up? Captain Wrench, what's up, brother? I agree 100% because this asset class is going to frickin' 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15 trill. And I'm serious. Nobody can call exactly when they're going to those numbers, but they will hit those marks over the next years. I think it's pretty obvious unless you're putting crypto back in the tube. And we know you're not. You're only going to move forward as the fourth industrial revolution, integrating or dovetailing, which is kind of frightening, with AI, which is the fifth industrial revolution, which is going to be pretty freaking freaky. Because we're going to have AI basically running almost every aspect of our lives, leveraging blockchain technology systems, and very few remnants of the old crappy, clunky pieces of the system. And boy, it's going to run like a UFO never ran before. And it's going to be quite freaky and scary. Because it's me like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. AI. No, sorry. I already did that. No, geez, I didn't mean to make that move. Can I take it back? You know what I mean? Where AI is just going to be making moves. It's going to be kind of frightening. Anyway, but it's going to be under control enough, and it won't be crazy dystopia, but it will be pretty frightening. Everything's going to be on steroids. That's my opinion. Anyway, don't worry. Don't get scared. I'm not trying to scare anybody. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a lovely, bold new world. Don't you worry. Riro says, that's why you have to register everything in the system. Well, you have to register belongs to the system and you're only a user. Yes, that's true. I can't wait to get to this explanation to explain to Josh what's going on with money and what it really is and the other things. Thousands of years, Ranger says, of history with metals, decade or so of digital assets. Okay, understood, Rangers, for sure. Josh, Bitcoin will be $1 million in 5 years. Josh, it could. And it could be 3-5 million in 5 years. And it also, after doing that, very well could go to like $2. And there's a very good reason why. And please don't ever say Bitcoin's a piece of shit. So if you're a Bitcoin guy, Josh, and you don't understand what's happening with Bitcoin, might want to stick around for the rest of the episode because I'm going to bust it down for you if that's the case. Now, I'm going to be very nice. Now, and I mean it, because Bitcoin's awesome, but it serves no function in the world except for folks to say it's going to go up in price. It has no utility purpose. It does not serve any money payment function that's of real value and use in the world. Flexa comes and saves its ass with its AMP token collateralizing and allowing you to walk out the door after you pay for a coffee with a Bitcoin, and it covers you. And there's more on that, but there are other things that do this too. Bitcoin's a piece of garbage. Okay. So just know that. So everybody that's going for Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin, Josh, and all over Bitcoin and all these big money people and Rao Powell and all these people who have this history are wealthy and bought Bitcoin way back and have a crap ton of it and are whipping probably, maybe not you, but a lot of folks around like a wet dish rag with Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're both crap. I don't care if everything's written on Ethereum. I know more about blockchain than probably you. I'm not trying to be a jerk, so please don't even test me. Go check out all the videos and check out how I lay it all down. Ethereum's garbage. Ethereum can barely handle the 10 to 15 to 20% load that the world has put on blockchain, has put on its shoulders now. Do you honestly believe you can't fix that moving train? It could barely handle it now with fees and how it's clunky every time activity comes on. You trying to tell me when the rest of blockchain comes on Ethereum that it's going to be able to handle all that activity? Get the hell out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. That means you bought Ethereum. If you say that, that means you bought Ethereum way back. That means you're of the Raoul Pal and this whole group. And there's tons of them. And I don't care. I can say that. There's tons of them who keep going on Ethereum. Finally, Paul Barron and some of the others stopped largely going Ethereum is going to go. No, stop. I hope you got out. No. I hope you saw the writing on the wall and understand, nicely, kindly crypto. And I don't mean it to be mean, but there's so many large talking heads that folks respect, as they should. The Paul Barrons of the world and the Raoul Pals of the world and who are the others who love Bitcoin and Ethereum like crazy? There's tons of them. Oh my God, there's tons of them. They are wrong. I am telling you, play my video back in 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years. They're all wrong, and you're going to see the truth of it coming up shortly. Bitcoin, the reason why everything moves up with Bitcoin or not and why it dominates so much of the market is because they've already bought it all and they can whip the whole crypto market around with it and control it and pull the move they just did and liquidate all the longs. You guys paying attention yet to crypto? And I'm going to start getting crazy on this. Anyway, I got to explain to Josh what the heck crypto is, and nicely, and I don't mean to be mean, what digital assets literally are. And I'll break it down. You need to watch my videos, and I'll break it down for you too, though, Josh. But let me get through the rest of these comments. Oh, boy, you got tanker going this morning, guys. Tap that like and subscribe if you don't mind, because it helps a lot. And that way the rest of the community can get the energy that we're putting out here this morning, which is very infectious. I hope in a good way, because we're having fun and I got a smile on my face, and I hope everybody's being nice out there. I hope we're not arguing here in the chat. We're not. We're being nice, right? Rero says can't hold Bitcoin in hand. Ranger says Rero can't hold Bitcoin in hand. Josh says can't hold XRP in hand, but I own the tokens. Okay. Josh says I purchased the asset. Ranger says, Josh, that's funny. Captain Wrench, we caught that. Yes. That's why you have to, yeah, we caught that, Captain Wrench. Thank you for your comment. Ranger says thousands of years of history. We caught that. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, good. I'm glad these guys seem like you're getting along. Good. Josh says, hold your mouth, Rangers. I hope you guys are joking. Bitcoin, $1 million in 5 years. I don't know. Perhaps. I don't know. Let me keep going. Scoring grain is snoring. What are you snoring about? You have something exciting to inject besides a bunch of Z's? I feel like this is actually pretty interesting. Why are you snoring? If you're snoring and we're not exciting enough for you, the fuck off our channel. Thank you. Hope that was exciting enough. Hope y'all in the Midwest, South, I hope everybody laughed at that. Say that's what you get for being a jackass. Stay south, stay safe in the storm. I agree. Please stay safe in this storm. I can't believe somebody put Z's in and said the tanker's energy is boring. You're a freaking cracko. I would take Ethereum. I wouldn't take Ethereum either, smart guy. Okay, FFS. Let me tell you what a piece of crap Ethereum is, just nicely. Ethereum is such a piece of garbage moving forward. It's a garbage now. It is, talk to anybody who's trying to jam crap through Ethereum. It's crap. It is crap. The fees are too high. It gets worse the more activity on it. It gets slow and clunky the more that's on it. Too indeterministic still. Stop it. You're not going to fix the moving train. Again, 20% of the world is on Ethereum right now. And we're expecting the rest of the 80% to come on. And you can't zippity zipper up. You can't scale her up. Get the hell out of here. Ethereum's crap. And so is Bitcoin. Garbage. Bitcoin's garbage. You want to know why and how Bitcoin's garbage? I'm going to spell it out very cleanly for you. Look at it. Because I'll stray too much if I'm going to try to focus as much as I can on it. Here you go. If you here you go, soaring. I hope you left. I hope you left by now, because and my wife's going to leave too, because whenever this happens, the wife says, "Anytime you mention this, I leave the chat." Well, I don't think a lot of people are going to leave right now, because here it is. I'm going to tell you how and why Bitcoin is crap, because there's enough people who have not heard it yet. Here you go. You have to pass 4 out of 5, at least 3 out of 4, but we'll call it 4 out of 5 criteria. To pass as a store of value. Okay, you have to satisfy at least 3 of 4. We're really saying 4 of 5, really. Okay, number 1 is portability and divisibility. Bitcoin passes. Number 2 is scarcity. You fail, you're not scarce. That's not the definition of scarcity. There's no burning mechanism. There could be if you want to get all Bitcoin miners together and do it and actually burn the shit, but they don't. Bitcoin doesn't get burned. There's 21 million that will ever, they're not all created yet, that will only ever be created. Don't worry, I understand Bitcoin guy, you Bitcoin maxis. Hilarious. You're saying Bitcoin's scarce. It's not scarce. It's sitting dormant in other folks' wallets. It is, yeah, try that contraction, that plural with the S and then the apostrophe. It's sitting in folks' wallets. You knuckleheads. It is not scarce. Scarce means it gets burnt or somehow gets taken out of the system entirely, and it doesn't. 21 million always stay in and are always on someone's wallet, ready to be dumped like they do, whipping the whole crypto market around and controlling you with it, by the way. Not scarce. Sorry, you fail. Durability. You fail on durability. You cannot be upheld without a fragile global infrastructure keeping your mining afloat. So without your mining, you don't exist. So guess what? You fail. That's a fail. You can't argue that. We have a solar flare or a Carrington event, which totally could happen. You fail, you're done. So you fail on durability. You have to be recognizable over a long enough economic cycles, and you do not do that. You're only a teenager. You only been around for frickin' 16 years. Shut your dumb yappers, Bitcoin people. Excuse me for being a little rough with you, because I got to set you straight. You got to come to Jesus now. Now, you need to also stay correlated with the cost of goods and services, and you don't do that, and you never have. What you've done is you've grossly outperformed goods and services. See, you need to stay correlated. That's one of the criteria to be a store of value. So you fail. You are not a store of value. So first of all, you're not a payment system. Second of all, you want to jump to a store of value, Bitcoin, and you're not that either. What are you going to jump to next is my question, Bitcoin. Yeah. What do you say to that? There's nothing to say to that. Shut your dumb yappers, Bitcoin people. And that's not just, I hold Bitcoin. How do I care? I hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. I bet you didn't know that. Let me get to the comments and see what people are saying about those truths. Those truths. Captain Wrench saying silver to 250 an ounce, gold to 15K, XRP to 10K. What's funny about that? And I know you're not, you're saying LOL, but those are the prices I'm calling. That's where this stuff's going. 3 to 5 to 7 years or so. Some of it faster. But yeah, gold is going to, I was saying about 7, 8K, but it's got to get to its price, right? So we're talking more like, really like 30 something thousand. But it might go to half its real price, 15K or so. See, now now you're starting to see I know my stuff about metals. I bet you didn't know I knew that. Those of you who know the truth on that. Anyway, you thinking, go check out Sir Francis Hunt, the crypto sniper. Anyway, Josh, you think in 5 years XRP will be 10K? Captain Wrench. He's asking Captain Wrench. Probably rhetorically. I don't know. FFS says the fourth revolution is AI and DLT. Okay, I think the fourth revolution is crypto, and the fifth is AI. Fifth is quantum computing. Gotcha, and wireless tech. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, right on. My bad. I think I got that wrong. Thanks, FFS, for correcting me. Captain Wrench says, show do. It just got slowed up. Got caught in the elites. It certainly did, Captain Wrench. So Ranger says, Josh, I don't care what Bitcoin, XRP, etc. will do. If lights go out, it's test thousands of years. It is true. If everything goes to crapola, the only thing that's going to matter is your food that matters, your weaponry, your ammo, your toilet paper, your feel-good stuff, your clothing, your foods, your salts, and your preservatives, and your gold and your silver that you can trade, and your abode that you're securing yourself in, or the vehicle or whatever is transporting you while you're mobile across a dangerous terrain. Don't tell me I ain't going to be the last one standing. Hey, if you're smart, you're smart. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you try to argue in the comments and things. I don't know. Let's try to have fun. Rero says war out wages, outages, alien evasions included. Guys, the deal's already been made with the aliens. By the way, did you see the World Economic Forum and Elon Musk being up there being told to say, make sure you let everybody know too, by the way, while the world's watching, that there's no aliens and you're not an alien because they trust you and they respect you. And Elon said, okay, I'll do it. So anybody who's not paying attention to that. Now, going up with, of course, you know, not him, that Elon is the alien, but he said something to the effect of, hey guys, we've had satellites up here for a long time. We've never had to kind of steer a satellite and say, look out, alien craft. All right, Elon, talk like that tells me that you are talking for them. Because they obviously are real and do exist, and you know the truth, but you're trying to tell the world that they don't. Interesting, at the World Economic Forum, while the world is listening, they told you to tell everybody while everybody was listening. That was a calculated thing with the aliens, if you caught that, if you use your noggin and you use this. If you asked me, do I want the value of gold right now or XRPX, I'm quant, I would take any of them over gold. Okay. Right on. Everybody's got opinions in here, and I know what you guys are trying to say, and I honestly do respect everybody's opinion when I do that and say, okay, I'm not just dismissing you. I hear what you're saying. Captain Wrench says, just working, bro. I see BTC and XRP going up the next 2 weeks. Major. We'll have to see. Studio. It's cold in here, man. Studio has a warm, beautiful voice. Studio's awesome, man. I know you're not talking about me, but yes, Studio is fantastic. Hollywood says, hope all of you in the Midwest stay safe with this storm. I hope you do. CMDR says, some people are just too damn lazy to Google stuff, but not to go on live chats. I know. It's kind of hilarious. But just truth be told, I feel like I do the same crap. Like I'll spout off on the live and it's like, Frank, you didn't check that first though. So I'm guilty of it too, but yes, people do. They spout off nonsense in the chat without checking real quick on something. Thanks, nice point, CMDR. FFS says, it's not quantum proof, not can they make it, nor can they make it quantum proof, I think you're saying. Okay. They can retro and quantum proof, just so you know, FFS, and now projects are being created with quantum in mind, just so you know, in case you didn't know, but I think you did. Rira says, I am buying things I am using and will use in the future, just like XRP, to transfer value cheap, fast, and safe between accounts. Okay, right on. Yeah, they can make it quite right on. I hear you. Right on, FFS. I hear you. Thanks for commenting. Right on. Yeah, they're gonna retro and make a lot of these things quantum proof after. Good morning, Cram. Thanks for coming in. Ryan, welcome for coming in. Welcome to Crypto Info. I mean, 5 years up, says. And Hollywood, happy birthday to our birthday boy today. Hollywood says the government wouldn't allow. Thank you for your comment, Ryan. The government wouldn't allow Bitcoin to live if they really didn't know who Satoshi is. The government wouldn't allow Bitcoin to, yeah, I think that might be right. I think they know. And I think it actually is David Schwartz. As you remember, there was a tweet put out when it was still Twitter, back when McAfee was alive. And he said, hey guys, Just so you know, David Schwartz is actually Satoshi, and then he retracted it real quick, but everybody saw it. So if you think he was just joking or you think he was putting out the actual truth that people would then find out later, who knows, very interesting correlation or connection and timing of David Schwartz's patents that he put out and his work that he did, not directly for the NSA, but also for contracting for the NSA. If you go look at the research on that and see that it actually makes sense that David Schwartz very likely is Satoshi. Done. Cram says, let's get XRP to $100 before we talk 10K. Okay, right on. Hey, they're never going to reveal. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, and you're going to laugh your asses off because you're going to see this is going to be the truth. Somebody else called it too. Bitcoin's going to keep shooting up and up and up and up and up and up. Clarity Act's going to pass. Institutions are going to come in. It's going to be a slow pain, but they're going to come to an agreement. Blah, 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 blah. It's finally going to happen. They're going to stop being able to suppress these utility assets, particularly the ISOs, particularly XRP, blah, blah, blah. It's going to start shooting to the moon. The utility is going to be turned on the ledger. Everybody's going to see it. It's going to run all over the world, blah, 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 for its utility, for its liquidity. All of a sudden, it's going to come out. It's going to come out during that, after that time, that frickin' Schwartz is actually Satoshi, only furthering the XRP explosion and institutions. Everybody going, see, I knew the truth. Bitcoin tanking, all that Bitcoin money leaving, including all the money, all the folks, all the high priced players who had all their money in Bitcoin, who were whipping you around like a wet dish rag with all their Bitcoin money, throw it on to XRP. By the way, they had already had all their money into XRP anyway in the other ISOs, and they're double dipping and literally becoming the multi-trillionaires on the planet. I just called it. There you go. What do you think? Guys, it's levels and degrees. If we get to be multimillionaires off this stuff or whatever as regular people, what in the world do you think multimillionaires and billionaires are going to do? They're going to become the first multi-trillionaires or first quadrillionaires on the planet. Do you get it? There's not enough money on the planet. Yes, there is, with the advent of crypto now and blockchain technology and tokenizing everything, real world assets, and putting all this money, trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions on chain, thereby now having enough trillions on the planet to account for multi-trillionaires. I hope everybody's tracking me. Anybody else paying attention to what's going on, or am I talking too fast? I think I might be talking too fast. You might have to play some of that back to catch my drift, but I just laid out what the truth is, and I think I did it in fine fashion. And anybody else who has a rockin' pineal gland, doesn't mean you don't. It doesn't mean I'm definitely correct. I feel like I'm pretty much over the target. While they continue to poison us, tell us UFOs aren't real, while they're continuing to reverse engineer the technology, that they've been in contact with them for quite some time, blah, 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 blah. So anybody thinks I'm not over the target, whatever. Go grab your tinfoil hat and get on the page with me, please. Thank you. Bad English, and they can't make quantum proof. My bad. You're good. Dude, don't worry about no bad English here, brother. We don't care. We know we all have a great command over the English language. We all have degrees and we can spell check like the best of them. Come on now. Now, do we speak as intelligently and as punctually and as clearly as Brian Brooks does? And I am not making fun of him, former OTC head. No, wasn't he Binance guy? CEO of Binance. Anyway, he's a fellow Coloradoan, and he speaks very clearly, does Brian Brooks, and he's an absolute freaking genius. And he caught all this way back as well. I wish I could speak as cleanly as Brian Brooks does, enunciate as cleanly. Anyway, governments have been looking into digital currency since the 80s. Yes, they have. And go back and look at when the patents are. When you got, go check out some crypto patents and go back. I'm not going to say dates because I don't know when they are. I'm not going to misspeak, but go check them. They're way the heck back. FFS says, probably longer, but the 80s were Sears computers. Yes, I agree. Satoshi couldn't even cash out the amount of a USD he has. The exchanges wouldn't have enough on hand, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Josh says he has 100 billion. 1 million Bitcoin. There's no way that Satoshi or David Schwartz would be able to get that money. I don't know. That's what you say. YouTube that says we going to get. You can't abbreviate with me. I'm too old. Spell it out. I'm an old guy. Get to. Oh, I think you're trying to say all-time high, maybe GTA. I don't know. I sound so foolish doing this as an old guy because everybody who's laughing at me going, dude, GTA? Come on. What does GTA mean? Before we see $4 XRP. go to? What the hell are you trying to say there? FFS says XD. Another one. I don't know what XD means, dude. I'm too old. Anyway, guys, please help me. You got old guy on a channel here. Come on now. I don't know these, what you guys take for granted with all this. I can tell you that anybody not paying attention to crypto is about to be in for a very, I'm going to say a rude awakening. Meaning that they're going to cry in their coffee that they could have cashed out on so much and they didn't. And by the way, we are an affiliate partner of Caleb and Brown. Please go ahead and check out their site. Be careful. Don't get caught in the exchanges this time around. In my opinion, I said it. Oh, wait a minute now. I said I would spell out a few things concerning crypto. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to spell out literally what you're doing. Well, I already did with crypto and how you buy it and what it is. I don't think I have to go over that again. Here's Fiat Leak. We've got 300,000 in the trading in the past minute across these wallets across the planet here. God bless it be the Lord, creator of all. Now we have safe, safe institutional grade Fireblocks grade custody security on Caleb and Brown with your Caleb account. It's $500 to sign up. They don't charge you to move your money over from another wallet. Always best to check with a $2,000 cash out, which can be an aggregate of coins. Check with your bank manager. Make sure they're crypto friendly first. Create your connection with the bank. Go ahead and then create your transfer of the $2,000 is always the recommendation. I'm not a financial advisor. That way you create a link between your bank and Caleb. And then that way when the bull run goes crazy and you want to cash out $750,000 in one pop, you can do that on Caleb because they're a broker, not an exchange. See, on the exchanges, you've agreed on Uphold, you've agreed on Femex, Coinbase, blah, 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 blah. All these ridiculous, lovely exchanges. Let me be nice. You've agreed that you will only pull up a certain amount per day. 50,000 a day you're going to pull out on Uphold unless you have a certain type of account. I think you do something different. I think it's 100,000 a day on Coinbase. Unless you have a pro account, you could do like 250 or 500,000 a day. But anyway, that's if you can get on the exchange because most of them are crashed. So, and I don't mean any offense once crypto gets volatile. So you might want to think about Caleb and Brown, your next cryptocurrency cash out. And unlike that little fat boy that's in jail with the backpack that said he was vegetarian and didn't eat any meat, that's bullcrap because how can you be a fat boy like that? You were sneaking meat in the closet. I don't believe it. And anyway, that fat boy was taking people's money and betting on it on the side. They don't do that stuff. They keep your money one-to-one and one-to-one backed. And that's up to you if you want to play ball with Caleb and Brown. I highly recommend keeping the majority of your crypto, never financial advice, in a cold storage wallet. Multiple cold storage wallets. Make sure that you're updating them. Make sure that you're not giving anybody your seed phrases. Make sure you're not giving anybody because you have either a 12 or a 24 word seed phrase. You should never be putting that down on paper or anything. It should be engraved in metal. It should be, some people say no safety deposit box, but it might be a good idea as a backup unless you don't trust the bank and think they might try to gank your crypto. I don't know. But anyway, fireproof, waterproof, safe is always good. You might want to get that version that a couple of buddies can't come in and just walk off with it, right? You need like that stethoscope thing, like in the movies, you know what I mean? Got to get the expert. This safe is monstrous, you know what I mean? Anyway, never financial advice, never really money advice at all here on the channel because I'm not a financial advisor. Crypto is very risky. You can lose your socks, your shorts, your pants, your glasses, everything in crypto. Never buy or sell anything is what I say or do. You must consult your registered investment advisor. Boy, this guy can talk. But I'm done. So why don't you enjoy your weekend? It's so funny, GTA. I don't know what the hell does that mean. Am I being sarcastic with what? Wait a minute, hang on. Or is somebody being sarcastic in the comments? I don't know. You know what? I hope you live long and prosper. I hope everybody can do the Spock thing. Kind of. See, I can kind of do it. Kind of. I hope you live long and prosper. I hope you have a great day. YouTube that. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel as a newcomer. I think you are. Everybody, I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you're enjoying crypto. I hope you're not waiting for crypto to save you. Okay. I hope you're playing it wisely. I hope you're seeing the truth is that we're looked at as dumb money. And if you want to be looked at as smart money, you might want to think about hanging out on this channel because that's who we are. And my portfolio proves it. And I've already listed my, I think, 48 projects. that I've captured. And yes, I'm done buying, which also proves that I know what I'm doing. I don't need to buy one more dang thing. This stuff just goes and then we're okay. Okay? Okay. All right. I hope everybody's loving crypto. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'm sorry to say Bitcoin and Ethereum are crap if you're holding them and you love them. I hold them too. I simply want to be honest and truthful about where the future of crypto is going. Have the best weekend. Crypto Midwest and everybody else, you know I love you, and happy birthday, Hollywood. Shout out, Art Caffeine, everybody. Thank you for, Grand Theft Auto. Guys, I'm an old man. I'm sorry. Have a great day. I hope you love crypto. See you.